RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Macias Insurance Agency, your local independent insurance agent. Andy's Auto Body, Tire, and Auto Service and Sales. Auto Butler Car Wash and Express Lube, located at 1706 Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Roper's Regal Beagle, the Metro East's premier sports bar and grill. Shell Community Federal Credit Union, the one place to go for all your banking needs. Liberty Bank, bank local, bank Liberty. Ruderman Plumbing, your locally owned plumbing superheroes. Gerard Fisher American Family Insurance, all of your protection under one roof. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. First Mid-America Credit Union, exceeding member expectations since 1934. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. 4204 Main Street Brewing Company, locally brewed craft beer and the area's best 100% certified Angus steaks and burgers. Calc Institute of Technology, your future, your success. C&B Bank and Trust, Illinois' oldest bank.
For action here at Public School Stadium in Alton, back deep to receive for the Explorers, a freshman return man, Traven Swingler. And he's going to position himself back around the 10-yard line. Then there's a grouping of upmen, Jesse Simmons, along with, I believe, Jeremy Strabel and Diavion Peebles. And actually, I got a hunch they think this kicker's only going to boot it to about the 20-yard line, which is where the three upmen are. Those are usually the deep guys, Peebles and Simmons. But they put the freshman back there at about the 8-yard line, and we are set for action. And it is a low line drive kick taken by Strabel. He picks it up at the 20, trying to find some running room out to the right side. A flag is thrown. He takes it out to the 25, but I have a hunch that'll be an illegal block against Marquette, and they're going to start deep in their own territory.
Yeah, they had their return team set up right. They got it in the hands they wanted to, but he didn't make a clean catch. And then when he tried to dance around, evidently somebody with the block in the back going to, as you said, back the Explorers up to start things off.
Well, a lot of times they try to set up a return and say, it's okay, it's going to be a return right. We'll try to get the picket line set up to the right side, and the kick goes to the left. And by the time you try and get everything set up, it's too late. Sometimes you're better off. I think you're better off if your return man just grabs the football and takes off running straight ahead.
Find the daylight and go for it.
Yep. Yeah. So they'll walk off the penalty. We've not even had a play from scrimmage, and the Explorers already have their first penalty, a 10-yard walk-off. And it's 1st and 10 Marquette from their own 15-yard line. Trey Aguirre, the senior quarterback, sends trips to the right side, two more receivers to the left, an empty backfield. So guess what they'll do here? Now they put Peebles in motion, and they run the jet sweep to the right side, and Peebles turns that right corner. Peebles out across the 20 and out near the 25-yard line. Takes it out to perhaps the 26, a gain of 11 on the carry, and a first down for Marquette.
Yeah, the three wide receivers over there spread the defense out, and Peebles, with his speed, was able to take that handoff, get out to the corner, turn the corner, and make it first down.
1st and 10 Explorers. Peebles, the sophomore, and showed some flashes in the CM game, then had a solid game last week. And he's in the backfield with Aguirre with a pair of receivers to each side of the field. 1st and 10 from the 26. They give to Peebles right up the middle, tried to break it outside to the left side. That play was designed to go up the middle, and he tried to bounce it to the left and got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Blake Delaney came up there, a 6 foot, 155-pound sophomore, made a nice tackle almost at the line of scrimmage. We'll call it 2nd and 10.
Again, a beautiful evening, a nice-sized crowd from the Kincaid area down here on the opposite side, and a big crowd here on the Marquette side. On 2nd and 10, trips to the right. Another receiver to the left, a tight end to the right side as well. Aguirre takes the snap, drops to throw, looks left, looks right. Now he takes off to the left side, and he's going to run with it and will not make it back to the line of scrimmage before he's thrown out of bounds here on the near side, a loss of 2, back to the 24-yard line. We'll bring about 3rd and 12.
Count that loss there up to a good coverage as he looked over for his receivers over to the wide side. Nothing there, so he came over here. One guy who was going to be a lead blocker decided maybe I better get into a short pattern, and he, of course, couldn't get the ball in the air and ends up losing the yard, make it 3rd and 11 from the 25.
Two receivers wide right. Two more wide left. The left, the short side of the field. Brady McAfee, goes in motion to the right side. Now they have 3 receivers to the wide side. Aguirre long count. Now Peebles shifts to the right. And they run the option to the right side. Aguirre turns it upfield, now pitches it back. Here's Peebles on his horse. He's got first down yardage out near the 36, still on his feet, still driving out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Peebles isn't very big, but he powered his way out there and picked up 17 yards out to the 42-yard line.
Well, 2 good decisions there. The first one, Aguirre saw that the contained man was going after pitch man, so he kept the ball himself. Then they maintained the pitch relationship so that after he got across the line of scrimmage, he was still able to pitch it back to Peebles for an outstanding run.
The last 5 yards looked like a rugby scrum. 1st and 10 Explorers. Now they go with a tight formation, and Aguirre keeps it on a running play straight ahead. Trey Aguirre still on his feet at the 40, and he's caught from behind all the way down at the 39 of South Fork. That was just a quarterback dive play right up the middle. Oh, that was Liam Maher. It was a direct snap to Maher as they went with that tight formation. And they snapped it directly to Maher in the backfield, and he picked up 30 yards on that carry from Maher.
Sam Dooling with a good key block up front there to spring him free.
1st and 10 Marquette at the 28. And now here's Peebles trying to sweep to left side, looking to turn the corner at the 25, sidesteps a tackler and takes it down to the 22-yard line. And a gain of 6 from the 28 to the 22.
You got to like that combination of play call. Quick hitter right up the middle, and then let's go student body left.
So Marquette, after running that spread formation, finally came up and had a tight formation and direct snapped it to Liam Mayer, and he reeled off that 30-yard run. 2nd and 4 Explorers at the 22 of the Ponies. And again, they go with the tight formation. Long count, and here's a direct snap to Peebles. Peebles trying to turn the right corner, but good contained by the left end of the Ponies, and he throws him down for a big loss all the way back near the 30-yard line. Let's see how much forward progress they give Peebles. They give him none. They spot it back at the 31, and that's a loss of 9.
And that guy on the tackle was Dawson Williams, and he's a 6'1", 175-pound sophomore, so the young kid's coming into play here in the early going.
So for the second time, they've run the Wildcat play. And on the first one, they went right up the middle with Maher for 30 yards. This time they tried to go wide with Peebles. And it was a big losing play. 3rd and 13 Marquette at the 28. Back to throw is Aguirre, and he tried to swing it out to Peebles here on the near side. The line of scrimmage was the 31. That was the first pass attempt of the night for Marquette, and it goes incomplete. And now to bring about 4th and long, and Marquette's in 4-down territory, although Liam Maher has quite a leg, and they send the field goal team out. This is going to be a long one. The line of scrimmage is just outside the 31, and they're going to put it down at the 38, so it will be a 48-yard attempt from the right hash mark. A 48-yard field goal attempt by Liam Maher. The snap, the spot, the kick, it's up, it's high, it's long, and it is good. Liam Maher from 48 yards, and the Explorers draw first blood. Well, who saw that coming? You don't see many 48-yarders, do you?
Well, probably in pregame, Liam says, Coach, I'm feeling pretty good. I think I can do this. I remember a few years back there was a young man who 48-yard field goals were just kind of par for him.
Yeah, well, and Maher's would have been good for more than that. It was plenty long. And so, with 8:21 remaining in the first quarter, it's Marquette 3, South Fork nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Red or black, silver or gold, new or used. At First Mid-America Credit Union, they know options are important to you. That's why they've made relationships with local dealerships where you'll receive all the extras with First Mid-America Credit Union's low rates and financing done on the spot. All you have to do is decide what you want. Your car, our loans, they're made for each other. www.1stmidamerica.org or call 618-258-3168 to speak to a representative.
Started that drive on their own 15-yard line and ended the drive after 3 first downs with a 48-yard field goal from Liam Maher. The Explorers lead it 3-0, and now Maher has the ball teed at his own 40-yard line, and he kicks it high and deep and into the end zone. That's an automatic touchback, and that's a weapon too. I'll tell you what, when you got a kid that can put it in the end zone and forgo any return by the opposing team, you always set them up at their own 20, and your defense loves that.
And, of course, after that field goal, you know the adrenaline was still pumping with that young man.
So the Explorer defense takes the field for the first time. The Ponies send their offense out there. Their junior quarterback, Seth Foster, will lead the team. And they start from their own 20-yard line, trailing 3-0. So the Explorers took the opening kick, had a nice drive going. It stalled, and Coach Darrell Angleton was not shy about sending the field goal team out there, and Liam Maher connected. Wing formation, and here's the give to the fullback, and he is stacked up as he tried to work the left side, and he loses a couple on the carry. That was Brandon Rodden, and Rodden a loss of 2.
Big Ralph Williams, 6'3", 270-pound freshman in there on the tackle.
2nd down and 12 for the Ponies from their own 18. And South Fork breaks the huddle. Just a perfect evening for football. Again, they go double tight with a wing to the right side. And here is the give on a counter, and the tailback gains a yard, but no more. On the carry was Dawson Williams. And there wasn't any running room that time to the right side as the left side of that Marquette defense closed in. A 1-yard gain for Williams brings about 3rd and 11.
Well, the Explorers with some big guys up front, they're going to be tough to move. I noticed that time Williams drew a double team over on the far side. Well, if he's on the back side and drawing a double team, that gives your team the advantage number-wise.
So 3rd and 11, South Fork from their own 19-yard line. A wing to the right. He goes in motion to the left side and back to throw. The quarterback lets it go deep down the middle, and that is juggled and incomplete. Trey Aguirre had it right in his hands. They threw it right to Aguirre, and I think he just got a little overly excited and juggled it at the 40-yard line, and finally it fell to the ground. After he popped it up in the air, the offensive player, the receiver, had an opportunity to catch it. Neither came down with it.
It almost looked like he was surprised that it got there so quickly as it got into his hands and out of his hands, and then he was panicking that it might be completed. As a result, incomplete pass, no harm, no foul.
So the Explorers send Jesse Simmons back deep, and Diavian Peebles is back there as well. As the Ponies set up in punt formation, Dakota German stands back at his own 9-yard line, awaiting the snap on 4th and 11. He gets a good snap, and he gets the kick away, and it's a high, short kick, shanked to the left side and rolls out of bounds. And he only kicked it about 15 or 20 yards. We'll see where they spot it. And Marquette is going to have great field position. It was a 15-yard kick out to the 35-yard line of the Ponies, and that's where the Explorers will start their second possession.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying his best to keep it away from the return men, but sometimes when you do that, it'll backfire on you, and it was as though it was a 15, 20-yard return, as they're going to have the ball deep in Pony territory.
1st and 10 Marquette. They lead it 3-0 with 6:52 left here in the first quarter. Receivers left and right. Trey Aguirre in the pistol formation. Long count takes a snap, hands it to Peebles. Peebles trying to find some running room to the outside, and he couldn't decide whether to cut inside the contained man or try to go around him, and the indecision cost him as he's thrown for a loss of about a yard on the play.
Jared Thomas over there at that defensive end position, and that's his job, to make sure you get that runner to stop and have to make a decision. And I don't think either decision was going to work, because once he lost his momentum, the defense was on the prowl.
2nd and 11 Marquette at the 36 of the Ponies. 2 receivers wide right, 1 more wide left. Aguirre in the pistol formation with Peebles to his left. Takes the snap, drops to throw. Looking. Now he tried to take off with it, and he's sacked all the way back at the 43-yard line. I'm not so sure they weren't trying to set up a screen, and Aguirre took an awfully deep drop from the pistol formation and he loses about 9 on that play. 8, a late loss of 8.
Well, if you're going to set up the screen, the offensive line at least have to bump the defenders to slow them a little bit to allow it to develop, but they were in there on him entirely too quickly, and he couldn't get rid of it in time.
3rd and 19 Explorers at the 44 of the Ponies. 2 receivers to each side of the field, empty backfield. Now they put Peebles in motion to the right side and hand him the football. He tries to turn that right corner, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more, and it's going to be 4th down for the Explorers, and I think they're too far out for a field goal this time.
Yes, but Peebles, you said, has had a couple of outstanding games in the first 2 weeks, and I think that the Ponies coaching staff has been looking at some film because they're keying on him, trying to keep him hemmed in.
So the clock rolling with 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Marquette leading 3-0, and the Explorers have the... Well, Mayher's in the game. Is he in to punt? No, they keep the offense on the field. So at the 44, the Ponies facing 4th and 19, the Explorers will go here. And I think that just shows a lot of confidence in their defense that if they don't make... No, and it's going to be a quick kick by Mayher as he was in the backfield, and they just direct snapped it to him, and what a punt it is. It rolls dead all the way down at the 4-yard line. So that's a nice weapon to use there, too. They appeared to have the offense out there, direct snapped it to Mayher, and he just quick kicked it and rolled it dead at the 4-yard line.
And, of course, the Ponies, they bought it. That was the whole key. They didn't have a man back for return, and give credit, the punt was a good enough punt so it got distance, but it died before it got to the end zone.
And there was nobody back there to pick it up. So the Ponies with their second possession. The Explorers that time went 3 and out. 1st and 10, South Fork from their own 4-yard line. Double tight formation, a wing to the right. And the give to the fullback right up the middle, and he finds some running room and barrels his way out to about the 14-yard line. Actually, that was Williams, Dawson Williams on the carry, one of the halfbacks. And a nice gain and the first down of the night for the Ponies as Dawson Williams picks up 11 out to the 15-yard line.
You know, McAfee come up with the tackle on that play, but good penetration with that offensive line. A quick hitter, and that's been the best play thus far for the Ponies.
Their first down of the night. They went 3 and out on their first possession. 1st and 10 from their own 15, and here is the give. And again, it's Williams, and Williams stacked up this time as he works the left side of the line. Picked up a couple. Well, actually, that time on the carry, it was number 28, Austin Day, and Day picked up 3.
Kind of like the old double lead plays. He had 2 lead blockers, but there was a mass of humanity in blue jerseys over there that stopped him for a short gain.
Well, let's call it 4 as he took it out to the 20. So it's 2nd and 6, South Fork from their own 20-yard line. Full house backfield, double tight end set, and Foster rolls to his right, and he's going to run with it. Hit at the 15 and driven back, and there wasn't much there that time as that slow developing play, a run to the right. I didn't fool anybody on the Marquette side of the field, and no gain on the play as they put it down at the 19-yard line, and it's actually a loss of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd and 7.
A good job there. James Malone had set him up, got him slowed down. McAfee came in, finished it off. You like that gang tackling. You hit him high, we'll hit him low, and we'll get him down.
The clock rolling with 2:50 remaining in the first quarter. Marquette leads it 3-0 in this Prairie State Conference game. The conference season underway this week. And here is Foster keeping it himself, trying to sweep the left side, and again he is stacked up and may have gained a yard, perhaps 2, before a host of Explorer tacklers got there, including number 55, Sam Stem.
Sam Stem and Sam Dooling over there as well. And he may have gained a few, but he ended up losing about 5 or 6 by the time he hit the ground as they really shoved him backwards.
So Foster, it was a 2-yard gain out to the 21, but that brings about 4th and 4 for the Ponies. And Dakota German back into the game to do the punting here. The Explorers send 3 men back. In the middle is Jesse Simmons. That's the guy that I'd like to see catch it. And then up men all the way over near the sideline on each side of the field. The kick is away. It's another short kick, and then again shanked to the left and out of bounds. And the Explorers are going to have great field position again, so the punting game doesn't appear to be a strength for the Ponies.
Definitely not. I'm not so sure you wouldn't be better off just go ahead and go for it on fourth down if you don't pick any more yards up than that.
Throw one deep and hope they intercept it. I've seen many a coach driven crazy by a fourth down interception where if you'd have just batted it down, you'd have been better off. 1st and 10 Explorers at the 34 of the Ponies. So the third Marquette possession. This is the second time in a row they've started deep in Pony territory. And here is the give right up the middle to Brady McAfee. Cuts it outside to the left side. McAfee on his feet inside the 25 down to the 22-yard line. A gain of 12 and the 4th first down of the night for the Explorers.
Kind of looked like Beetle Bailey there. He had a full head of steam when he hit the line of scrimmage. No stopping Brady till he picked up some good yardage.
1st and 10 Marquette at the 22 of the Ponies. The clock rolling with 1:30 remaining in the first quarter. Here again the give to McAfee. This time he works the right side of the line and pounds his way forward down to about the 20-yard line. I'll give him forward progress to the 21, a gain of only 1 that time.
Got wrapped up over there on the far side, but still a good effort there as they're trying to open up things between the tackles. And, of course, that will hopefully open up the passing lanes.
2nd and 9 Explorers at the 21 of the Ponies. Marquette leads it 3-0 on the strength of a 48-yard field goal by Liam Maher. Now Marquette goes double tight and a snap to the up man. And that time, that gain straight ahead on the carry. And it was Liam Maher, that play that netted 30 yards on their first possession, picks up about 3 on this one. And it brings about 3rd and 6. So the direct snap to Maher, who was the up back. And Maher, 33 yards on 2 carries.
It's going to cost them 5 there. The defense kind of flinched a little bit, but the offense came out of their stance, and as a result, I think they're going to back the Explorers up 5.
And it is a procedure call against Marquette, their second penalty of the night, for a total of 15 penalty yards. And so 3rd and 6 becomes 3rd and 11 as they put the football down at the 23-yard line. They have to make it to the 12 for a first down. Again, they go with the tight formation. And the snap is to Aguirre, and Aguirre keeps it himself, is stripped of the football, and loses the fumble at the 18-yard line. So the first turnover of the night costs the Explorers, as Aguirre tried to put a move on, trying to get to the outside, and held the ball out there like a loaf of bread, and they just stripped it away.
You talk about things that will drive coaches crazy. That's one right there.
So the Explorers have not been able to take advantage of the great field position they've had on the last 2 possessions. And the Ponies start 1st and 10 from their own 18 with 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter. They send 2 receivers to the left side, 2 more to the right, as for the first time they go with a spread formation. And now the Ponies fumble the football, but the quarterback, Foster, is able to cover it. He tried to hand it to Williams, and the mesh wasn't there. It hit the turf, and Foster covered it at the 14-yard line for a loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, Malone once again was in there quickly, but as you said, putting the ball on the hip was a bad idea there.
That's the end of the first quarter of play here at Public School Stadium in Alton, and the score, the Marquette Explorers 3, the South Fork Ponies 0. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
At 4204 Main Street Brewing Company, we believe that great food paired with our own locally brewed craft beer is a staple in life, and we want to share that experience. At 4204, you will find a menu that complements our very own award-winning craft beers, and we serve the area's best 100% certified Angus steaks and burgers. You can find us in both Alton by the Alton Square Mall and at our original location at 4204 West Main Street in Belleville. Come visit 4204 Main Street Brewing Company today for an experience you won't soon forget.
Gary Boker, Sam Stan back at Public School Stadium in Alton as we get set for second quarter action. And Gary, Marquette has wasted away some great field position thus far.
Yeah, you got to feel good that you have the lead after one quarter, and yet you got to feel bad because the lead should be 14, 17 points instead of just 3.
Marquette with 2 possessions starting deep in Pony territory, and they were unable to capitalize on either one. Punting on one possession and fumbling the ball away on the next one. And so now the Ponies, deep in their own territory, face 2nd down and 14 from their own 14-yard line. Now whistles and flags with the snap. And I think South Fork just got its first penalty of the night.
The old T formation there with a fullback and a left half and a right half and double tight, and the right end couldn't wait for the ball to be snapped.
So they move the football back to the 9-yard line, and it's going to be 2nd and 20 for the Ponies right there. And this Explorer defense would like to bottle them up right here and give the offense great field position once again. Here is the give, and here's Williams trying to sweep to the right side, breaks out of there, now coming back to the left, now cuts it back to the right, and he went nowhere. He gained a yard. He must have run 15 yards and gained 1 yard.
Thank
God.
Left
and right and left.
Thank God they don't have tearaway jerseys, because there were 3 different Explorers that just got hold of a jersey long enough to slow him down to get help.
Well, he started right. They bottled him up there. Somehow he busted out of the pack and started out to the left. And as Gary said, somebody got his jersey from behind, kind of spun him around, and then he went back to the right. And that mass of humanity he met the first time was still there. And all of that netted him 1 yard and brings about 3rd and 19 for the Ponies from their own 10-yard line. A wing to the right, and here is the ball on the ground, a fumble by the Ponies. And the Explorers get it. The Explorers covered the fumble down at the 1-yard line, maybe the 2. I'm not sure who was on top of it.
Well, number 13 is the one coming away with the ball, so I'm going to give him credit. That's
Xavier Jones,
the 5'8", 162-pound junior. He was Johnny on the spot there. Not only did he get the fumble, but he got it on the 5-yard line. 1st and goal for the Explorers, Sam. Enough is enough. It's time to punch a score in.
So the turnovers are now even at 1 apiece, and they do put it down right at the 5-yard line. And Marquette comes out with that tight formation. Maher the up back, Aguirre in the pistol formation, and a long count. 1st and goal at the 5, and the snap is to the up back Maher, and he walks into the end zone for the touchdown. There was a huge hole to the right side, and Maher walked in from 5 yards out, and the Explorers have their first touchdown of the night.
Well, you can credit that touchdown to the offensive line for the Explorers, as they simply blew a hole wide open there on the right side. He went in basically untouched.
So Liam Maher has done all the scoring here tonight, a 48-yard field goal early in the first quarter, and then a 5-yard touchdown run right here. Makes it 9-0, and Maher will attempt to add point number 10. The snap, the spot, the kick up high, long, and good. 11:01 remaining in the second quarter. The score now, Marquette 10, South Fork nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
It's the final play of the game. Down by 4, Andes will need to score to win it. The quarterback lines up, ball is snapped. It's a handoff. He breaks outside of the tackle. He's got daylight. He could go all the way. Touchdown! Andes wins.
You too can score a touchdown at Andes Auto Sales.
Check out the all-star lineup at Andes Auto Sales today.
They lead it 10-0 here. Early second quarter, 11:01 remaining, and so far it's been the Liam Maher show. He's the one doing all the scoring, all 10 points.
He's been Mr. Offense, but of course, as we said earlier, that offensive line did the job right there. It's one thing to fumble as you're going in for a score, but it's another thing to fumble deep in your own zone.
Maher's kick taken in at the 1, and the return out across the 10 to the 15 and out to the 20-yard line, and no further than that. And on the return for the Ponies was Clint Thomas. So he took it from his 1, and they're going to put it down right at the 20.
Jeremy Strebel in on the tackle and got some help from his friend Cameron Rainey as they wrapped him up and drove him back as he crossed the 20-yard line.
They put it down at the 21, 1st and 10. Ponies right there. South Fork with only 1 first down thus far this evening. And really, that's been the bulk of their offense, 1 play. It was an 11-yard gain, and that's been about it. Now here is, I believe it's Williams trying the right side of the the line of scrimmage and picks up a couple, stacked up after a short gain. It'll be second down, 2nd and 9 as he took it from the 21 to the 22.
Very short gain, and credit that front of the defense for the Explorers as they're making sure there's not much of a hole there at all. Looked like McAfee coming up with a stop over there on the far side.
Brandon Booz over there on the left side as well was in on that tackle. Double tight, wing to the right side, 2nd and 9 Ponies from their own 22. Here's the give to Williams, trying to turn the right corner, and it's strung out over there, but Williams does manage to find a little running room out to the 25, maybe to the 26-yard line, a gain of 4 there.
Keep that play in mind because the quarterback tried to come up with a little bootleg action, and he was checking out to see if anybody was paying any attention to him. Nobody was, so he may be keeping that one next time.
So 3rd and 5 Ponies from their own 26-yard line. Marquette leads it 10-0. South Fork, as we said, with a lone first down, and now the Ponies want a timeout as they know they need to convert here. 9:38 remaining here in the second quarter. It's Marquette 10, South Fork nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
All right, sir, we finished all the services on your car. They'll take it over for your complimentary car wash, and they'll call you when it's ready.
Of the game, so you want to stay tuned for that.
Special announcement, there has been a Jack Holmes sighting here tonight.
How about that? A 3rd and 5 for the Ponies, and first down yardage for Williams as he takes it all the way out to the 35-yard line. That was just a dive play straight ahead, and Williams found a hole in the line of scrimmage and took it out for a gain of almost 10 on that carry out to the 36. 1st and 10 Ponies.
Yeah, I don't think the Explorers were expecting that kind of a play call following the timeout. It caught them by surprise.
Jack Holmes, the new athletic director at Marquette Catholic High School.
Can you use Jack Holmes and the word new in the same sentence?
Well, the latest.
I had
put it that way.
Don't say that either. He doesn't like that late with his name either.
1st and 10 Ponies, and again a straight ahead running play out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. And at that time it was, as they changed things up, it was number 30, I think. Mm-hmm. Do I have a number 30 here? Yes, I do. Yeah. That's Austin Jack, and Austin Jack picked up 6 on that carry.
Well, they said they would rotate different backs in and out of the lineup, looking for a combination that'll get them a first down.
2nd and 4 from the 42 for the Ponies. Again, a straight ahead running play, and again, a nice opening to the left side. And positive yardage for South Fork. 21 on the carry that time. Picked up 4. He's going to be very close to a first down.
This is George's son, Nathan Goebel.
Nathan Goebel. I don't think it's spelled the same.
I wonder how many have picked up on that name.
Well, you know, right away I knew who you were talking about, so that tells you a little bit about me, doesn't it?
Well, it looks like right now the Ponies are getting serious about trying to move this ball down the field. The defense of the Explorers needs to stiffen up right now.
It was a first down, 1st and 10 South Fork. Again, the straight ahead handoff, and this time a short gain by the running back. And as they unstack them, we'll figure out who had it that time. That time it was the fullback, Rodden, Brandon Rodden, picked up a yard.
I think. Go ahead.
Did I have it right?
Yeah, and Brandon Boost was one of the first in there to wrap him up. They closed the gaps down that time, and if the first guy gets a hit, the Explorers did a good job of getting to the ball and gang tackling.
So Rodden with only his 2nd carry of the night, 2 carries for -1. 2nd and nearly 10 for the Ponies just outside their own 46-yard line. They have not crossed midfield here tonight. Here is the give to Williams, trying to work the right side, and Williams stacked up after a short gain. He picks up about 3, and it'll bring about 3rd and long for the Ponies.
Adam Strzezuski comes up with a stop there. Did you see, though, however, he made his contact a little bit high, and as a result, he gets driven back. And your technique is you want to make sure you get your pads under his pads so he goes backwards.
Williams is obviously their feature back, and he's got 31 yards on 7 carries. And yes, if you don't tackle, if you don't use proper tackling technique, he's gonna burn you. Double tight with a wing to the right. They put the wing in motion and hand it to the wing back. Oh no, the quarterback, Foster, kept it himself, and then he lost the football and had to go back and cover it back at his own 41-yard line. It was a nice fake, and a lot of the defense took the fake. So did the play-by-play guy. And Foster tried that bootleg out to the right side, but there was somebody there to meet him this time. The ball popped loose. He covered it back at the 42.
Well, the problem was he faked himself out. He forgot he had the ball, I think, as he went around there and fumbled it himself. But as you said, that bootleg action, I figured they'd come back to him sooner or later, and the Explorers were ready for it.
And he lost 9. That was the third fumble of the night for the Ponies. They lost the one that led to the Marquette touchdown. And now Dakota German will try to get a good kick away. He hasn't had a good one yet. That one's a little bit better. So he keeps it in the field of play, but Jesse Simmons will return from the 37 out across the 40 to the 42, and a nice tackle there by one of the Pony defenders. And good tackling technique there. That was number 15, and we want to mention his name.
Montgomery Miller.
Montgomery Miller.
I wonder if he goes by Monty.
You know what? He could be a movie star. That's a good name for a movie star.
It's a good name for a football player hitting like that as well.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, even with the run back, the Ponies have gotten the Explorers in better field position than they did when they tried to kick it to the sideline. 1st
and 10 Explorers from their own 42. This is their 4th possession of the night. They've converted on 2 attempts and had a turnover on another, punted on another possession. Aguirre back to throw. Quick pass out to the left side, and Jesse Simmons out there just trying to outrun folks, and he does down the left sideline. First down yardage across midfield down to the 47 of the Ponies, and a gain of 11 on that play. They're going to put it at the 48, and it's going to be very close to a first down, and they might need to measure.
I'll tell them right now, it's got a first down.
It is a first down.
Well, you know, the Ponies that time playing a 44 defense, but their interior backers were setting back so deep that the underneath receiver was wide open. Once he makes the catch, one good block and some good yardage.
And Jesse Simmons is a dangerous runner once he has the football. First completion of the night for Trey Aguirre. Good for 10 yards and a first down. Aguirre in an empty backfield with trips to the right. Aguirre's going to run right up the middle. Now tried to cut it outside to the right side where he had a picket line out there because he had those 3 receivers, and he slipped down. He tripped over a tooth on the Redbird logo.
I was going to say we'll blame the beak of the Redbird on that one, because as he tried to make that cut, his feet just went out from under him.
I love that Redbird logo. It's the only bird I've ever seen that has teeth. Have you seen birds with teeth before? It looks mean. It wasn't too mean last night.
Oh, we better not go there.
A 1-yard gain by Aguirre. 2nd down and 9 for the Explorers at the 47. I don't know if he tripped over an upper tooth or a lower tooth, because that bird has both. On the 2nd down play with trips to the left side. Aguirre back to throw. Quick out to the left side to Jeremy Strable. Wide receiver screen. Strable gets some blockers out front, has first down yardage and then some. Down to the 35 of the Ponies. And a pickup of 13 on that play and another Marquette first down.
And some key downfield blocks. I believe McAfee was one of them there. They waited, the ball was caught, and then as he came down the field, they made sure they shielded the defender and allowed him to get good yardage as it's down to the 35 of the Ponies.
And Strable did a good job of using those blockers. He waited for the play to develop in front of him. 1st and 10 Marquette, their 6th first down of the night. The line of scrimmage, the 35 of the Ponies. Trips to the right side, the wide side of the field. Simmons, the lone receiver, to the left. Back to throw. Aguirre looking for Simmons down the left sideline. And Jesse Simmons lays out for it near the goal line and can't quite get there. There was a little contact over there, but no flag. And it goes as a long incompletion.
That pass should have never been thrown. The Ponies had a blitz coming from the far side, but Adam Strzelecki pulled and picked up that blitzing linebacker, allowing the quarterback enough time to throw the pass. He won't get any credit statistically, but an outstanding play by the offensive lineman.
Well, that's the way the line coach draws it up, right? Say, young man, if you see a blitz coming, you need to peel off and pick it up. 2nd down and 10 for the Explorers at the 35 of the Ponies. Again, trips to the right. Simmons, the lone receiver, to the left. Quick screen out to the right side to McAfee. Blockers out in front. Brady McAfee on his feet at the 30. Fights his way down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 10 on that play, and it's going to be another Marquette first down.
No, I'm afraid there's going to be a flag thrown, and the official over here on the sideline had the play right in front of him, and he didn't have a flag, but the referee is going to get a holding call on the Explorers.
I was going to say I didn't see a flag.
I didn't see a hold, but, I'm not going to say there wasn't one. I'm just going to tell you I didn't see it.
So that wipes out the 10-yard completion, and instead it'll be a 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the foul, which they say was the 34. There's the flag. Grass is so long down there, I guess the flag got buried down in it. And so it's going to be 2nd down and 19 for the Explorers. That's their 3rd penalty of the night. 2nd and 19 at the Pony 44-yard line. 4:14 to play here in the first half. Marquette leading 10-0. They put McAfee in motion to the right side. Now he sets up on the right. Peebles in the backfield with Aguirre, who's in the pistol formation. Takes the snap, drops the throw, looking downfield. He's got a man open. Strable at the 20, and it was just off his fingertips. If Jeremy Strable hauls that one in, he walks in for the touchdown. He was in full stride, and it just went off his fingertips.
Well, we mentioned in the first game of the year that Trey Aguirre had some trouble hitting his receivers. He couldn't have threaded that needle any better that time.
Yeah, I think Strable would probably tell you I should have caught that because he had to reach a little bit, but not that much. And now the Explorers want a timeout. It comes with 4:05 remaining in the first half. Marquette leads South Fork 10-0. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Calc Institute of Technology is working for you with career programs for today's jobs. As a career student, you can expect a welcoming atmosphere with exceptional personal service, small classes with one-on-one attention, a set class schedule, and short-term programs that will get you into the workforce quickly. Calc has 2 locations for your convenience located in both Alton and Fairview Heights. For more information, visit Calc online at www.calc.edu.
Let's go down the left sideline. Oh, right through the hands of Brady McAfee down at about the 22-yard line. And I got a hunch McAfee will tell you I should have caught that as well. Aguirre was under pressure, scrambling to his left, let the pass go. McAfee was there. It came in over his left shoulder, and he just couldn't hang on.
Well, I think the key from now on at the pregame meal, there will be no butter.
No.
Just slipped right off his fingers.
Maybe some jelly. Get your fingers sticky.
Little peanut butter. Ooh.
So now Liam Mayer stands back at his own 43-yard line in punt formation. And back to receive the kick for the Ponies.
Clint Thomas?
Is Clint Thomas. And Mayer gets the kick away, kicks it away and towards the left sideline and tries to get it inside the 20, and he does. It rolls out of bounds at the 15-yard line, and the Ponies will start 1st and 10 deep in their own territory once again.
Now that's the way you angle punt. You aim towards the corner. He comes up a little short, but it's out to about the 15, 16-yard line. No run back, good result.
Well, the Explorers waste another opportunity there. They appeared to be moving, and the holding penalty really bogged that one down. That and a couple of passes that went just through the fingertips of intended receivers as Marquette appeared to be marching, but the penalty set them back.
You know what this old-timer says? Take those gloves off. Let the fingers do the feeling of that ball into your hands.
1st and 10, South Fork from their own 15-yard line. Quarterback Seth Foster, he's a junior, under center. Full house backfield turns and straight ahead a handoff, and we've got another rugby scrum down there, and maybe a yard gained at most by the ball carrier for the Ponies. And that time it was 28, Austin Day.
Yeah, big number 60 up there on the defense. James Malone coming in once again on that tackle and making sure he doesn't get forward progress much at all.
No gain on that play. 2nd and 10, Ponies. We're down to 3:15 and counting remaining here in the second quarter. It's been a quick first half. Marquette leading at 10-0. On 2nd and 10, again, they hand off. This time it was the wing back, and he drags tacklers all the way out to the 34-yard line. A nice run there on the carry, number 22, his first carry of the night, Bailey Hamilton. And Hamilton gained 14.
Now that time the Explorers front kind of, instead of just jamming, they kind of slid off to the outside, creating a hole to the inside, and that's all it took for a first down for the Ponies.
It's their fourth first down here in the first half. 1st and 10 from their own 34, wing to the right. And the turn and the give, and this time it's Williams, and Williams stacked up after a gain of a yard. Dawson Williams, his 8th carry of the night for 32 yards.
I'm looking to see who the guy down at the bottom of the pile was. I can't find out, but one of the last ones to push the pile back was James King, 6'3", 300 pounds, and that was a pancake tackle.
2nd down and 9 for the Ponies, just outside of their own 35-yard line. Again, a wing to the right side. Split backs behind Foster, who takes the snap, turns, and keeps it himself. Drops the throw.
Deep.
He's got a man wide open and misses him. He underthrew it, as the saving grace there for the Explorers was that Foster was on the run to his left. He's a right-handed thrower and couldn't get it out there to the receiver, who was wide open down at the 45.
Yeah, and Strable knew that there was a problem on this side. He was trying to come across from the other side to see if he could get there in time, but fortunately the pass just behind the receiver, that had trouble written all over it.
The intended receiver was Austin Day, the wingback. So he came out of that right wing position and got downfield. But because of the heavy rush on Foster, he couldn't get any mustard on the football. 3rd down, and here is Foster keeping himself, sweeping the left side, bouncing off tacklers, has first down yardage out across the 45 to the 46-yard line, a gain of 10 on that carry by Seth Foster, and another first down for the Ponies.
Foster's only listed at about 170, 175 pounds, but I'll tell you what, when he churns those knees, he got some drive in those legs.
So the Ponies, with the clock rolling with 1:50 remaining in the first half, have a first down at their own 46-yard line. Here is the give to, back to throw, Foster, and that through the hands of his intended receiver. The fullback, Rodden, was open out around the 50-yard line and went right through his hands, but Foster fired it too.
Maybe we need to check the lighting. Maybe it's not as light down there on the field. They can't see that ball coming, but there has been so many good passes right through the hands of the receivers.
Foster, again, was hurried a little bit as he faked the handoff there and bootlegged it and then turned to throw, and his receiver was open, but as Gary said, right through his hands. 2nd and 10, Ponies, full house backfield. Here is the give to Williams. Williams on his horse. Williams driving across midfield down to the Marquette 46-yard line. A gain of 8 on that carry for Dawson Williams.
And
it's
Williams,
going to be 3rd and short.
Williams did a good job of firing off tackle over there on the right side, and then after he got through the penetration, he cuts back to the left and picked up another 5 yards to make it almost a first down.
3rd and 2, South Fork at the Marquette 46-yard line. And is this the first time they've crossed midfield? It may be.
I believe so.
Full house backfield, and here's Foster trying to sweep to the right side. They string it out, still on his feet, but he's finally driven down and actually lost a yard or two on that play. A host of Explorer tacklers over there. Number 60 gets up off the pile. Number 70 for Marquette, that's Alex Tesson along with James Malone. They were among the first two to hit Foster and bring him down for a loss of a yard. And with 50 seconds remaining and facing 4th and 3, the Ponies want another timeout. We'll remind you again that following the game, we'll name the Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game. I think Liam Maher has, he's in the running.
He's got the inside track right now.
Some of those linemen, we've mentioned Sam Malone a few times. Number 78, the freshman, Ralph Williams, has been in, so we'll have to keep them in contention as well. And the Ponies, I think, figuring here with just 50 seconds remaining that they'll go for it on 4th and 3 out near midfield, thinking perhaps that even if they don't get it, Marquette won't have a whole lot of time to try to matriculate the ball down the field.
Plus, if they punt it, they may give up better field position anyway.
True. So here we go, 4th and 3, Ponies at the Marquette 47-yard line. And here is the give to Williams, trying to work the right side. And we've got the scrum going on, and Williams gets a 4-yard gain. He only needed 3 first down Ponies.
Well, I thought at first when the Ponies came to the line of scrimmage, they were going to see if they could draw the defense offside, pick up the necessary yardage. But Williams said, give it to me, I'll take care of it. Maybe he's a pony, but I guarantee you he was carrying the mail there.
1st and 10, South Fork at the Marquette 43, clock running with 37 seconds remaining. And here is Foster rolling to his left, under heavy pressure, lets it go downfield, incomplete, too high for his intended receiver, Rodden, the fullback, and right through the hands of Jeremy Strable for Marquette. That stops the clock with 31 seconds remaining.
I don't understand that. There were 2 receivers almost side by side, but I also noticed there were 2 tackles who were also about 10 yards downfield.
2nd down and 10, South Fork. The line of scrimmage, the Marquette 43-yard line. The Explorers lead it 10-0. A wing back to the right, double tight end formation. Seth Foster takes a snap, rolls to his left, looking back to the right. He had a man open out there, but he fell down as the defender and he got their feet tangled up, and that's not a penalty. If they tangle the feet up, that's just part of the play. I believe that was Brady McAfee over there in coverage.
Yeah, that's a good no call, and as you said, that right now the coach for the Ponies is kind of talking it over with the officials, but I think he realized that was no tripping intentionally there. They were both just running down the field.
It wasn't number 12 McAfee. It was number 13 Xavier Jones who had the coverage.
We called his name a couple of times tonight. He's made a couple of nice plays.
3rd and 10 Ponies with 24 seconds remaining in the half. And again, Foster back to throw and lets it go downfield. Has his man Williams down at the 20-yard line. And what made that play remarkable was that big number 78 was in there again. Ralph Williams almost had Foster in his grips, and Foster got away, fired it downfield, found Williams down at the 20 for a gain of 23.
Williams, that is Ralph, so close to a big sack, and then when he could not quite bring the quarterback down, it is Williams on the other team who comes up with a big catch, and as a result, the Ponies, they're still driving for a possible score here.
At the 22. That's the first completion of the night for Seth Foster. 1st and 10 Ponies with 17 seconds remaining. Foster back to throw once again under heavy pressure. Lets it go. He had a man open down at about the 18-yard line, but couldn't get it there because of that heavy pressure. Boy, I'll tell you what, that Marquette defensive line is just teeing off now. And if they can figure out how to set up a screen, they might get something done.
Yeah, the defensive line with outstanding penetration that time, and they also shot McAfee in there, and Brady hit the quarterback just as he released the ball, so he couldn't get anything on that ball. In fact, he's probably trying to get the cobwebs out of his head right now.
Now 10 seconds remaining in the first half. 2nd and 10 Ponies at the Marquette 22-yard line. This is their deepest penetration of the night. Full house backfield behind Seth Foster. The junior quarterback turns, hands it, and Williams on his horse, and he goes nowhere. And the ball stripped away, but after the whistle, a gain of 2 for Dawson Williams, and now the Ponies will call their final timeout with 3 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and they will go for it. Even though they're in field goal range, they don't have a field goal kicker. The only guy who does the kicking for him is a little freshman. Not too much confidence in him. They will probably be going for 2 points on conversions if they do score a touchdown. But right now, down to perhaps the final play of the first half.
So barring a defensive penalty, it will be, and we'll have it when we return. 3 seconds remaining in the half. Marquette leads South Fork 10-0. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Set, hit. Protection. Can anyone over there give me protection?
Danny, hold.
Put me in, coach. I can offer protection.
Set, hit.
Not only can I protect the quarterback, I can protect your dreams. Call me, Gerard Fisher, 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Gary Boker's here. So am I. My name is Sam Stem, and it's been a pretty good football game so far. But a critical moment here as the South Fork Ponies are over there drawing up a play that they hope will end in the end zone, because they need to probably throw it to the end zone.
You go down to the Chevy at the end of the block and hang a left. You go down to the trash can and see if you can get there. But This has been a first half, which the one word you can't use is opportunistic, because both teams have wasted away some opportunities to put points on the board.
3rd and 7, Ponies at the Marquette 19 with just 3 seconds remaining in the half. Foster back to throw, under pressure, scrambling to his left. Lets it go, headed for the end. It's picked off by Diavion Peebles, and they bump him out of bounds at the 21, and lucky for the Ponies they did, because if he had cleared about 5 more yards, he was going to dance all the way down that right sideline. So an interception by Peebles there for Marquette, but no harm, no foul in the end for the Ponies, as they had no other reason but to throw it towards the end zone. And because of the heavy pressure by the Explorer defensive line there, once again, Foster really couldn't set. Underthrew the pass, and Peebles picked it off at about the 5-yard line. Now there's a discussion going on between the Marquette coaching staff and the officials, and now the officials are huddling at the 25. And I don't know if Marquette thought they couldn't have been arguing that there should have been time left on the clock, could they?
Well, unless they were saying that he was hit after he was out of bounds, and therefore that would be constituted as a defensive penalty,
Yes.
should have one untimed down, but that's the only thing I can imagine.
And the officials still seem to be discussing it, although the Explorers have gone to the locker room and the Ponies have gone down into the far end zone. But the
Wait
officials.
a minute. Once the little girls get out here on the field, the half has to come to a close. That's all there is to it.
Well, and those are little girls, aren't they? Some of them can't be more than 3 or 4 years old. I think
T-shirts dragging the ground.
I think we're going to have a cheerleading clinic here. Well, the officials still seem to be discussing something, but now they seem as if they're ready to go ahead and roll the clock for the halftime festivities. And as Gary said, the little girls are on the field ready to do their cheer routine. And so we'll do our halftime routine as well. At the half, the score, the Marquette Explorers 10, the South Fork Ponies nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Alongside Gary Boker, and we are set for second half action. Marquette leading South Fork 10-0 in this Prairie State Conference game. Liam Mayer with the ball teed at his own 40-yard line, and they blew the whistle and told Mayer to go ahead, and he ran about 5 steps, and they blew the whistle and stopped it because the clock hadn't been reset yet.
Well, they wanted 3 minutes to warm up, and if you give them 3 minutes to warm up,
and they don't take
the rule says you have to give them that.
That's it. So here we go. Now the run-up and the kick, and Mayer pooches it into a void between the up men and the deep men. And the Explorers tried to run down there and get on the football, but somebody from South Fork was Johnny on the spot. He covered it at the 25, but that wasn't a bad idea, as there was about a 20-yard stretch there where there were no Ponies whatsoever, and the Explorers just tried to outrace them to the football.
And I was worried about, you mentioned the first series of the second half. I was worried about the first kickoff. How many times have we seen an opening kickoff of the second half run back for a touchdown?
So South Fork starts 1st and 10 from their own 26. They trail by 10. Their junior quarterback, Seth Foster, under center, full house backfield behind him, double tight end set. And here is Dawson Williams on his horse. Dawson Williams out across the 30 to the 33-yard line, and a gain of nearly 6 on that carry. So the Pony got on his horse.
And I'm trying to convince myself he's only a sophomore. 6'1", 175 pounds. Looks a little bigger than that.
The line of scrimmage now, the 33. Williams, 12 carries for 53 yards. Again, double tight. Full house backfield. Foster under center, turns, hands it off, and again a straight ahead running play. And it wasn't Williams that time. That time it was 20, I think. That's Nathan Goebel.
Looked like that was Malone in on the tackle there.
And Nathan Goebel gained a yard, and it's going to be third. We gained 2, and it's going to be 3rd and 2. So the Ponies, trying to post their 9th first down of the night, face 3rd and 2 from their own 34-yard line. Double tight, full house backfield. And Foster keeps it himself with blockers out in front, sweeping to the left side, turns it upfield, and takes it out to the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 there for Seth Foster. And on that last possession of the first half, and this one here, it looks like maybe this Pony offense has found its rhythm.
Well, that time he had a couple of lead blockers out there in front of him, and the Explorers simply didn't have the numbers.
1st and 10, South Fork just outside their own 40-yard line. Marquette leads it 10-0, early third quarter action. And here is Foster rolling to his left, looking downfield, and incomplete. A diving attempt there by the defender, Trey Aguirre. The intended receiver for the Ponies was Jared Thomas out near midfield. And I'll tell you what, I really don't understand why these coaches roll these right-handed quarterbacks to the left side, because it's just such a difficult throw.
You can't get your shoulder square. I was thinking the very same thing. If you're going to throw, why not put him in the best possible way for completion? And that was not it, as he was throwing across his body, trying to square those shoulders up.
A wing to the right, split backs behind Foster, and the ball is loose, and have the Explorers recovered. A big pile up at the 40-yard line.
Nope.
The mesh was not there between the quarterback and the running back. It was a new running back into the ballgame. Clint Thomas was attempting to take his first handoff of the night, and he was just too far away from the quarterback, and they couldn't connect, and it goes for a loss of a yard, and the Ponies were lucky they didn't lose the football.
That could be Clint Thomas' last handoff as well, if he's going to do that.
Well, he simply was not in the right position. And so now on the third down play, it is Thomas trying to sweep to the right side, and he is hemmed in. A flag is thrown, and so Thomas is brought down after a short gain, a gain of a yard just out across the 40-yard line, and the Explorers will have to choose between 4th and 10 or 3rd and 20.
Well, it looks like that the Ponies are pulling a tackle on that, and he's trying to lead the way. Well, normally if you do that, he'll be a kick-out blocker, and you'll try to cut that back up inside, but the Explorers did a good job of stringing that out, and I believe there's going to be a holding call.
It is, and Marquette will decline it and set the Ponies up with 4th and 10 from their own 40-yard line.
And, of course, the reason they do that, they want to see another one of those punts.
Yeah, that's been an adventure tonight for the Ponies. Dakota German, he is a senior. I was expecting to look down and find out he was a freshman or a sophomore, but he's a senior, but he's had a tough time kicking the football. From his own 29-yard line, he misses and now pops it straight up in the air, and it takes a South Fork hop and rolls all the way down to the Marquette 40-yard line. So he netted about 20 out of that. What, did he whiff the first time? Or
No, what happened, the
football?
guy who was blocking for him up front backed into his foot. He had to do a double take, step back, reload, and try to get a foot on it. Really, it was an outstanding play on his part to recover. And the guy who was blocking for him, lucky he didn't have a foot up his,
Well, he kicked it straight up in the air, and it landed about 5 yards from where he kicked it, but then it took a South Fork hop and rolled about 15 yards. And the Marquette bench was yelling, get away from it, get away from it. You don't want it to hit you.
It's not a punt, it's an adventure.
1st and 10 Explorers from their own 40. Aguirre, quick pass out to the right side to Jesse Simmons. Simmons down the right sideline, gains only a couple. He wanted to go inside. There was nothing there, so he popped it back out to the outside and gained 2 on the play.
And Brady McAfee was a good no block there. He wanted to seal a block and send him to the outside. Could not find the front numbers on his jersey, so he put his hands up to let the official know, I'm not making a block here.
2nd down and 8 for the Explorers from their own 42-yard line. Simmons now wide to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. They put trips to the right, the short side, and Simmons in the pistol formation. Quick pass. Oh, they wanted to run the slant to Strabel, but I don't think Strabel was looking for it. And it's going to bring about 3rd and long for the Explorers. So that play had possibilities, but Strable never got his head back.
I thought when they sent the trips over here to the short side, I thought they were going to go one-on-one on a fly or a deep post pattern over there on the other side, as there was a defender out on an island all by himself over there.
So 3rd and 8 Marquette from their own 42. So many of these plays have just missed clicking. On the 3rd down play, Aguirre in the pistol formation with Peebles in the backfield with him. Back to throw. Down the right side, he's got his man, and that's Brian Nagy, and he's got a 1st down at the Pony 46-yard line. A gain of 12 on that play.
Yeah, just a nice deep hook. Nagy knew where he had to get for the 1st down, and he just settled right there on the sideline.
So a 12-yard completion, a 1st down for the Explorers, only their 7th of the night, and Nagy's 1st reception of the night. Aguirre now 4 for 9 for 37 yards. 1st and 10 Explorers at the 46 of the Ponies.
Direct snap.
And here is the snap to the up man, Liam Maher, and the Ponies have seen that often enough. They were ready for that time as Marquette went with that tight formation, snapped it to the up back, and no gain on the play.
Yeah, snap a little high, and he had to go off his hand. He had to reach up and collect it. Once he did, that play was dead in the water.
You put a lot of pressure on your center when you vary the number of snaps to the deep backs, to the quarterback and the pistol and the shotgun, and the snap to the up back. Back to throw. Aguirre lets it go deep down the middle, and that's going to be an interference call as Jeremy Strable went up high to try to bring that one down, and he was drilled in the back, but long before the ball ever got there, down at the 25-yard line.
Yeah.
So that would be a 15-yard walk-off against the Ponies.
More important than the 15 yards, I'm checking to see if he's okay, because he took it in the kidneys there. He seems like he's walking it off okay. He's kind of checking there. I think the rib cage took it, but evidently the pads helped absorb that blow.
So they walk off 15 from the line of scrimmage. And the Explorers have another 1st down, their 8th of the night. And they have it 1st and 10 at the Pony 31-yard line.
First possession, 2nd half, Explorers.
Nagy and McAfee wide left. Strable joins them over there as well. Simmons, the lone receiver, to the right side, the short side of the field. Aguirre in the pistol formation with Peebles to his left. Takes the snap on the 1st down play, drops the throw, swings it out to Peebles out to the left side. Peebles gets a block. Peebles on his feet, dancing at the 25, still on his feet at the 20, cuts it back, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Diavion Peebles. What a run after the catch by Diavion Peebles
And a
from
huge,
31 yards out.
Huge block by Brian Nagy, as that was what set it up. But then, as you said, Peebles went to work, spinning, juking, going this way, then that way, and he was just the elusive runner tonight.
And Peebles takes it to the house for the touchdown from 31 yards. Just a little swing pass out there. He used his blockers, and then he used his ability as he cut it one way, cut it the other way, spun and danced into the end zone. And now Maher adds the extra point. And with 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, the score now, Marquette 17, South Fork nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Bangs it into the end zone, automatic touchback. The Ponies will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Diavion Peebles, just a sophomore, 5'5", 135. That's how they have him listed. That's probably how much he weighs wet.
And that's why he's so hard to bring down.
Well,
you can't catch him, you can't find him.
That's right. And he's got great speed and showed some fine moves there as well. And did a great job of using that initial block. Did you say that was Nagy?
Nagy with an outstanding block there, yes.
And Peebles did a nice job of using that and then put his speed and agility to work and took it in from 31 yards out. 17-0 Marquette, 1st and 10 for the Ponies. And here's the give to the running back. I think that's Dawson Williams again. And he finally lands on the turf with big number 55 on top of him. And number 13 underneath him, Xavier Jones and Sam Stem on the tackle. And it was 22, Bailey Hamilton. He picked up 4.
And he picked up a spot over on the sideline. He said, hey, Coach, I don't want to run that play again. That hurt.
2nd down, well, we'll call it a 3-yard gain. 2nd down and 7 for the Ponies from their own 23-yard line. Double tight with a wing to the right side. Foster under center takes the snap, and now we've got whistles and flags with the snap. And that's going to be procedure against South Fork. Only their 2nd penalty of the night. Actually, it's their 3rd. They had that holding call earlier. So their 2nd of the second half, their 3rd of the night.
It would appear that despite the fact that they're trailing by 2 touchdowns plus, they're still staying with their same game plan. They're going to do what they're going to do and see if they can make it work.
Well, if they do decide to throw and they decide to roll the quarterback, I'd like to see him
roll
him to the right. They haven't done it all night. Every time he's rolled to the left. On 2nd and 12, here is the give. That's Williams, and Williams, a big run. Williams dragging tacklers with him across the 45 out to the 48-yard line. Dawson Williams took it from his own 18 to the 48, a gain. Well, they put it at the 47, so it's a gain of 29.
Outstanding run there, and once again, he simply went off that right side, utilizing the block of the guard and the tackle over there, shoots through the gap. Before you know it, he's in daylight. And no one Explorer can bring him down. The first guy jumps on him, rides him, then the second guy tries to slow him down. Third guy finally brings him down.
James Jernigan rode the pony for about 10 yards till he got some help. Now here's the give, and the running back this time powers his way out to midfield, a gain of about 3 on the carry. Was that Williams again? We'll have to wait for him to unstack. And I'm not sure. I think it was.
There's a 43 in there. Haven't seen
well,
that number before. That's Jared Thomas.
Actually, I think it was the
45 also.
It was the full. Oh, no, the running back was 22, and he gets up. That's Bailey Hamilton once again. And he gets up a little gimpy after gaining 2 on that carry. So somebody rolled up on his ankle or the back of his leg in that scrum that was down there. And it'll be 2nd down and 8 for South Fork.
Well, that's one thing tonight. I don't think there's going to be, for the Explorers, very many solo tackles, because it seems like there's 2, 3, and 4 Explorers that are in on each tackle.
The line of scrimmage, the South Fork 49, 2nd and 8. And here is Foster with the football running to the right side. Seth Foster finally stood up, and here comes that gang tackling once again. And the first man to meet him was Sam Stem, the linebacker. And once he stood him up, here came a host of Explorer tacklers.
Yeah, I think Nagy got him around the waist. And then, as you said, they're simply having team meetings all over the place tonight.
A 4-yard pickup on that carry for the quarterback, Seth Foster. And it brings about 3rd and 4 for South Fork at the Marquette 47-yard line. The clock rolling with 6:05 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Marquette leads it 17-0. This, the Prairie State Conference opener for both of these teams. Full house backfield, double tight end set. Here's the give to Dawson Williams, and again we have that rugby scrum going on. Williams thrown down to the turf, a yard shy of the 1st down after a 3-yard gain, and it's going to be 4th and short for the Ponies.
And that time, right before the snap of the ball, the 2 defensive tackles spread out a little wider, allowing the linebackers to shoot inside. You would think that would mess with the minds of the offensive line, but with Williams, he's still able to make some good yardage.
5:25 and counting remaining in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 1, South Fork at the Marquette 44-yard line. Double tight end set, full house backfield behind the quarterback, Seth Foster. He takes the snap, turns, gives it to Williams, and Williams has the 1st down. as he pounds his way down to the 41-yard line, a gain of 3 on that carry, and the 11th first down of the night for South Fork.
You know, there's a situation where he makes 3 yards, he gets the first down, and yet you've got to congratulate the defense on keeping him from getting a bigger run out of it.
1st and 10 Ponies at the Marquette 41-yard line. Marquette leads it 17-0. Full house backfield. Foster takes the snap, rolls to his left, looking downfield, lets it go. He's got his man at the 30-yard line. Nice catch there. It was the 45. That's Redden, the fullback, went up and brought it down at the 30-yard line. So a gain of 11 on that play and another first down for the Ponies.
An outstanding pass that time as he threaded the needle. You can't fault the secondary of the Explorers. They had good coverage. He just put the ball in between 2 defenders.
So Redden with his first catch of the night. Foster has completed only 2 of 8 pass attempts. Now we've got a timeout on the field. It comes with 4:38 remaining in the third quarter. Marquette leads South Fork 17-0. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
One of the greatest myths about car dealers is that some pay less for their cars than others. Hi, I'm John Roberts, and we all pay the same. Here at Roberts Motors, we can compete with any Ford dealer, regardless of how big they are or how great they say their deals are. The number one concern of anyone buying a car today is service. At Roberts Motors, we pride ourselves in exceptional service before, after, and during the sale. Stop in today and see why Roberts has been the home of happy customers since 1949, or see us online at RiverBender.com.
1st and 10 South Fork at the Marquette 29-yard line. Marquette leads it 17-0 mid-third quarter action. Pitch back, and here is Thomas trying to sweep to the right side. He's strung out and finally bumped out of bounds.
Is Nagy over there again?
They had good contain out there on the left edge for Marquette as Clint Thomas tried to run it to the right side. And Thomas, no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, during that last timeout, we noticed the Explorers coaches talking to the officials, and we finally surmised that either it's a tackle-eligible play or there's illegal linemen downfield on the pass play. Well, they're double tight, so the tackles can't be eligible. And I'll leave it at that.
2nd down and 10, South Fork at the Marquette 29. Here's a give to the tailback, and he has spun around and brought down Austin Day that time on the carry, and may have fallen forward for a yard. They're going to put it down at the 28-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 9, South Fork.
Well, Brady McAfee did an outstanding job of shooting through that time. Problem was he couldn't get a square hit on him to drive him back, but nonetheless, he stopped him at the line of scrimmage, bringing it up a 3rd and long.
Well, they didn't give him any forward progress on that last play at all, so it's 3rd and 10 for South Fork at the Marquette 29-yard line as the clock rolls with 3:45 remaining third quarter. Here is a reverse. They give it to Dawson Williams, and Williams stays on his feet down to the 25-yard line. A gain of about 4 on that carry. They handed it to the wingback and then reversed it to Dawson, who went back to the right where the wingback came from. And the Explorers did a good job of staying home, but then Williams broke a couple of tackles and got 4 yards out of the play.
But that's the whole key, staying home. If the play is going away from you, all you have to worry about is if it comes back to you. The Explorers did an outstanding job there. Even though he picks up 5, still going to bring up a 4th down.
So 4th and 5 for the Ponies. And the line of scrimmage, the Marquette 24-yard line. Dawson Williams now 16 carries for 93 yards, and he's been a standout for South Fork without a whole lot of help up front. On the 4th down play, here is Foster keeping it himself, running to the left side, and he is brought down shy of the first down marker. He needed 5. He got about 3.5. And the Explorers will take over on downs just outside their own 20-yard line.
What's the old adage? Bend but do not break, and that's exactly what the Explorers did there. They gave a little bit, but they stopped them when they had to. Now the offense back on the field.
Well, South Fork has 12 first downs in this football game, and they have about twice as much rushing yardage as Marquette. But because of the kicking game and because of turnovers, Marquette leads it 17-0. And the fact that the Marquette defense has played very tough. The few times they have bent, they have not broke. And now The Explorer offense back out there starting 1st and 10 from their own 21 with 2:40 remaining in the third quarter. Marquette with a 17-point lead. Here is Aguirre keeping himself after he faked a handoff, and he got a yard at most.
And, of course, what the Explorers would like to see here is a sustained drive. Even if they don't score a touchdown, which, of course, is their goal, they need to move the ball down the field, eat that clock up a little bit, let that defense have a bit of a rest.
A gain of a short yard for Trey Aguirre on that carry, the Marquette senior quarterback. Aguirre has completed 5 of 10 passes for 68 yards and a touchdown. And actually has thrown the ball even a little better than that, as he had a few go through the hands of receivers. On 2nd and 9, Aguirre back to throw. Oh, and he throws an interception. He had Jesse Simmons down the right sideline, out at about the 30-yard line on just a little button hook, and he threw it short and right into the hands of, guess who? Dawson Williams. Williams just stepped right into the passing lane and pulled that one down.
I don't think that Aguirre ever saw him, but he's really mad at himself as Williams because he had clear going all the way to the end zone if he hadn't slipped.
Now a flag is thrown as the Marquette defensive coordinator, Bob Baird, was out onto the field. He was about 8 yards out onto the field, and the officials blew the whistle and threw a flag. I guess that's on the, it's a sideline warning, and basically it's because the coach was out on the field.
Just trying to make a point, that's all.
So it's not a penalty, it's just a warning,
right.
Sideline warning.
It's a
and I don't think Baird was addressing the officials. I think he was addressing his defense.
He knew that they have done the job. They have made the stop, and now they're being called on to go right back on the field and do it again.
1st and 10 Ponies at the Marquette 22. Here's Dawson Williams, big hole to the right side, and he powers his way inside the 20 down to about the 18-yard line. A gain of 4, maybe 5 on that carry.
Just awful difficult to bring that young man down. Coming up on the stop that time, James Malone once again, 5'10", 230-pound sophomore, playing a lot more mature than a sophomore.
Williams, 17 carries for 97 yards. Marquette leads it 17-0. The clock rolling with 1:23 remaining in the third quarter. The line of scrimmage, the Explorer, 18-yard line on the second down play. Seth Foster under center, full house backfield behind him. Takes a snap, drops to throw. Looking down to the right sideline and into the end zone it goes, and it's incomplete. Broken up there by the Marquette defender. And that might have been Jernigan out there, I'm not sure.
I believe it was.
From this far away, it's hard to read those numbers.
Well, if he's not number 1, he was number 1 on that play.
I don't think it's number 1. Anyway, he walks slowly back towards the defensive huddle, and if we can pick up the number, I think it's number
5.
Number 5 it is, Jeremy Strabel. So he did a good job to break that one up in the end zone. And actually, Foster took a chance because he just kind of threw it up for grabs, and it was a fight between the intended receiver and Strabel, and Strabel knocked it away. Now Foster keeps it himself, running to the right side, blockers out in front, but the hole closes down quickly, and he takes it down to the 15-yard line. A gain of 3. It's going to bring about 3rd and 4.
Well, as you said, the defense strung it out, and then McAfee came up quickly to make the stop, and that's showing 4th down over there. Did I miss it down?
It is 4th down.
Okay.
You're right. Yeah. I missed it down, not you.
Well, I remember Mizzou one time missed it down.
Yeah, well.
or 2 or 3.
Yeah, Colorado got a bonus. They call that a bonus
yes.
down, I think. Call it a Buffalo down.
Yeah.
4th and 4, Ponies at the Marquette 15-yard line. And here's the give. No, rolling to his left is Foster. Foster in trouble, still on his feet. Now tries to turn it upfield. He's at the 20, at the 15, and down near the 10-yard line, and he's going to get the first down. As the Explorers just couldn't get a handle on him. He just got too elusive out there. They had him in trouble back outside of the 20, and he cut it back inside, made a move at about the 15, and dove down to the 10-yard line.
Well, there were 2 or 3 Explorers that simply had their feet slide out from under them. You know, we talked about this nice, cool air, a little bit of dampness setting in late evening, though, and there's a little bit of moisture on that grass right now, or at least it appeared the way the Explorers went down that time.
Could you run down and check and see how much moisture there is?
If there's
Did you
enough,
do that?
no, there's enough for me up here. I'm fine. And if I did run down, I'd have
You
to
would
have
run
oxygen
back up,
coming back
yeah.
up.
You could just signal from down there.
But it looks like that it's going to be a first down.
It is a
they're sitting
first
just
down.
outside the 10, right?
Yep. But we've got a pony down and injured on the play. It was one of the linemen out in front of Foster. And when Foster cut it back, I think that lineman got barreled over by one of the defenders who was trying to get to Foster.
Yeah, and what you worry about on plays like that is you put your knee, when you're trying to twist and turn and get back into it, you put your knee in a precarious situation. Let's hope that's not what it is.
They sent a couple guys out from the pony sideline, and I think they're going to pick him up and help him off the field. And the injured player for the Ponies is number 77, Quentin Simon. He's 5'11", 202, a senior lineman. And the two guys helping him off are about half his size. I don't know how much help they really are. Don't you think you'd have sent a couple big guys out to help a big guy off?
At least similar size. The freshman, you go get him. Yeah, right, Coach.
So we're down to 9.3 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's 1st and 10 Ponies at the Marquette 11-yard line. So South Fork, with their 13th first down of the night, they convert on that 4th down play. And the Ponies come out and set up double tight with a full house backfield. They set the ball ready for play. And Foster turns and gives it to Dawson Williams right up the middle. Somebody got him by the ankle. Otherwise, it looked like he might have gone in, and they drag him down from behind at about the 6-yard line after a gain of 5, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter of play. The score, Marquette 17, South Fork nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Dad, the toilet's clogged again.
Rooterman to the rescue. We'll clean any drain, anytime, anywhere. Rooterman is your locally owned and operated plumbing and drain cleaning company. We're friendly, fast, and reliable. Rooterman takes the extra steps to protect your home while providing stellar 24-hour emergency superhero service with hometown pricing. So for plumbing repairs, drain cleaning, water heaters, filtration systems, or just when your house pipes are in trouble, call Rooterman.
In Alton, my name is Sam Stem. Alongside, it's Gary Boker, and the Marquette Explorers lead at 17-0. But the South Fork Ponies are, I heard a guy a few times say they're knocking at the door.
Yes, indeed they are. That is true right here. Let's see if this defense, which has bent several times, will keep from breaking here.
2nd and 5, Ponies. They give to the tailback, and he tries to power his way up the middle. Marquette comes away with the football, but they say the whistle had blown. And that running back for the Ponies, I didn't get the number. I think it was Austin Day, though, 28.
I couldn't see the number because Krzyzewski had him so wrapped up there was no number showing. And then one of the other Explorers, I think that may have been Malone, came in and stripped the ball away. But the officials say forward progress was stopped. Looked like down at about the 3-yard line.
A 3-yard pickup for Day, and now it's 3rd and 2 Ponies at the Marquette 3-yard line. Full house backfield. Clint Thomas, one of the running backs in that backfield, behind Seth Foster. Now whistles and flags, and that's a terrible time to take a procedure call.
I was just thinking the Explorers could sure use a procedure call right here, and as I said that, the right end came off his haunches, and the Explorers were quick to point that out, and they'll pick up 5.
So Ponies have haunches.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't lost on me. I don't know if you did that on purpose, did you? No.
Oh.
So 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, actually, for the Ponies at the Marquette 8-yard line. They need to get to the 1 for a first down. Foster takes the snap, rolls to his right. He's going to run with it. He has some blockers out front, but as he gets it down to the 5-yard line, the Explorer defense closes in and throws him to the turf after about a 3-yard gain, and it's going to be 4th down, South Fork. The first man there was
Malone, Youngblood, and Nagy. I got to give all 3 of those guys credit, as they were there together, and I think they had a couple of other buddies helping them out as well. Good pursuit.
A 3-yard pickup for Foster. Now it's 4th and 4, South Fork at the Marquette 5-yard line. The clock rolling with 10:35 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Marquette leads it 17-0. If South Fork has any chance, they need to convert here. Here is Foster rolling to his left, and they sack him all the way back at the 20-yard line.
Don't taunt.
Brian Nagy once again.
He was so excited when he come off of that one. I thought he was going to say something he would regret. But Nagy with a good job, and it looked like to me, had he handed off to Williams, Williams was going to go around the right side for a touchdown. But Nagy catches him in the backfield, and once again, the Explorer defense, they may bend, but they're not breaking.
Well, Nagy came on essentially a blitz up from his cornerback position to get in there and put the pressure on the quarterback. And so the Explorers take over on downs and dodge a huge bullet there. And here is Aguirre keeping it himself. He faked a handoff on an end around to Jesse Simmons, and Aguirre kept it and picks up positive yardage out across the 20 to about the 22-yard line, a gain of about 4.
Now right here's where I would say with this lead and this clock, don't get too wild. Let's stay a little conservative. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep the clock running. Let's keep the chains moving.
2nd down and 6 for the Explorers from their own 21-yard line. Aguirre under center. They go with a tight formation. Direct snap to Diavion Peebles, who tries to turn that right corner. And that time, South Fork strings it out. And Peebles may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
He may have gotten his eye teeth knocked loose on that one as they stood him up as he turned the corner. The good part for the Explorers, at least he stayed in bounds, and it'll keep the clock running.
No gain for Peebles. That's his first carry since the first quarter. Now he had the 31-yard run for a touchdown after taking a swing pass out in the left flat, but has not run the ball from scrimmage since the first quarter. Peebles 8 carries for 24 yards. 3rd and 6 Explorers from their own 21-yard line. Again, that tight formation. The snap to Aguirre, who drops to throw. Now he's under pressure, scrambling to his left. Dumps it off to Peebles at the 15. Peebles a move at the 20. Peebles on his feet at the 25. Peebles out across the 30 and bumped out of bounds at the 31-yard line. And he has a first down after a 10-yard pickup.
Aguirre showed that he had ice water in those veins as he was pulling back under pressure. He allowed the pressure to come to him, which allowed Peebles to open up there in the flat, and then just dumped it off to him. And once again, how many times have we said, good run after the catch by Peebles.
A 12-yard pickup and a first down. And Aguirre did a good job of directing traffic, too. He directed Peebles where he wanted him to go, an open spot in the field. Now here's the give to Simmons on the end around. Jesse Simmons. Simmons breaks a tackle, crosses the 35 and takes it out to the 37-yard line. As he went to the ground, the ball came loose, and they say South Fork has the football. But Simmons appeared to have the ball all the way to the ground, and then when he hit the ground, he rolled over, and the ball stayed on the ground. But the officials say, no, it came out, and South Fork has recovered.
And they can't throw the review flag out.
No review here in high school football.
Well,
if they wanted a booth review, we could help them out.
No problem.
I think we both agree, don't we? The ground can't cause a fumble.
That's right. No problem at all.
Marquette's 3rd turnover tonight.
And again, we call on the defense to do their thing one more time.
So it was about a 5-yard gain for Simmons. And just trying to get a little extra, he coughed up the football, and the judgment of the officials now whistles and flags, and Marquette wants a timeout. It comes with, is that 6:37 or 8:30? I think 8:37 remaining here in the fourth quarter. The score, Marquette 17, South Fork nothing. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Roper's Regal Beagle, located on Godfrey Road, is the Metro East premier sports bar and grill. Open Sunday through Thursday till 2 a.m. and Fridays and Saturdays till 3 a.m. At Roper's Regal Beagle, you will enjoy some of the area's best pizza from their wood-fired pizza oven. There is also a full kitchen offering a huge variety, as well as a soup and salad bar. Sports fans, Roper's Regal Beagle is the place to watch the game. 27 TVs, NFL ticket, Big Ten, Pac-12, and streaming local high school sports.
Back at Public School Stadium in Alton, you're in tune to WBGZ Alton. And it's 1st and 10, South Fork at the Marquette 37-yard line, and a pass deep downfield, and oh, what a catch at the 5-yard line. Holy smokes, a tremendous catch. And a gain of 36 yards. And pick up that number for me, 28.
28.
That's Austin Day. And that's a different quarterback in there, too, that threw it. And I'm going to have to figure out who he was. But a 36-yard pickup on a great, great catch.
And you know, the thing about that, we mentioned at halftime that the quarterback was 1 for 6. Well, there was a situation where the receiver really helped the quarterback out.
Well, maybe that was Seth Foster. I'm not. It sure didn't look like him the way he threw it, but that was the first time he threw not being under pressure. Foster takes the snap and takes it into the end zone for the touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run by Seth Foster. And just like that, following the Marquette turnover, 2 plays later, the Ponies take it into the end zone.
Well, they made him pay with a big play, and that's, of course, what you want to do after a turnover. The Explorers in a position where hopefully they were just going to be able to run out the clock and move those chains a few times and have an easy victory, but that's not the way it was scripted out, I guess.
Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but during the break we both kind of agreed. Marquette with a 17-point lead midway, not quite midway through the fourth quarter, and here they are running end arounds, and maybe you ought to just keep it a little bit more basic and try to kill that clock. Now the 2-point conversion attempt, and whistles and flags with the snap. So the score came with 8:12 remaining here in the fourth quarter, and it was a 5-yard touchdown run by Seth Foster right up the middle. And
they have a procedure call there. It seems like every time they go to the spread offense, this guy over here on the near side, his hanky gets hot and he has to pull it out of his pocket.
But that big completion, that 35-yarder, and what a catch by Austin Day. That makes Foster 3 for 10 on the night for 68 yards, and he's thrown an interception. Now the 2-point conversion attempt will come from the 8-yard line. And again, they go spread, 2 receivers to each side of the field, and Foster in the pistol formation from the 8-yard line for the 2 points, and the pass out to the right side, incomplete. And the 2-point conversion attempt fails, so with 8:12 remaining fourth quarter, the score now, Marquette 17, South Fork 6. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
At Shell Community Federal Credit Union, you are important. We work hard to ensure you have the best banking experience possible. Whether you are inquiring about opening a savings account or wanting to learn more about a loan, our professionals are here to help you with any questions, and we will walk you through every step of the process. Since opening our doors in 1935, we've never forgotten that our members are our most important asset, which is why we continue to excel. For all your banking needs, Shell is the one place to go.
Through the first couple of quarters, but it's bogged down here a little bit in the second half, in part because South Fork is trying to mount a comeback.
Well, I'll tell you, when you have a lead, it always seems like things drag on a little bit more, and it takes longer to get to the finish line.
And now the onside kick attempt, and the ball is loose at the Marquette 47, big pile up there. So one of those Marquette and South Fork says they've got the football, and the officials agree. And I'll tell you what, one of those up men for the Explorers acted like he thought he couldn't cross the 50-yard line to go after the football, and he stood there and waited for it. And by the time the football arrived, so did the South Fork oncoming kickoff team. Yeah, and there was a big pile up at the 47, and the Ponies came away with the football.
It just kind of looked like the ball squirted out of him as it was underneath him. And as they came down and hit him, he lost control of the ball.
1st and 10, South Fork at the Marquette 47. And back to throw is Foster, rolling to his left, lets it go downfield and overshoots his intended receiver down at the Marquette 28-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10. There he goes, rolling to his left again.
I was just going to say the big pass play, what did you say, 35 yards a moment ago? There was no rolling left on that.
Right. He dropped straight back on that one. 2nd down and 10 for the Ponies at the Marquette 47. And quite frankly, South Fork, if they can figure a way to traverse these 47 yards and put the ball in the end zone, they're right back in this football game with some time remaining. So the Explorer defense needs to step up and meet this challenge. 2nd and 10. Here is the give to Dawson Williams right up the middle, just churning those legs. Finally, they blow the play dead as his forward progress was stopped down at the 42-yard line after a gain of 5.
Yeah, the Explorers slowing him down, but I tell you what, bringing him to a complete halt is a difficult task.
Don't forget, following the game, we'll name that Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game. And the Player of the Game may not have yet stepped forward. We might have a big play here somewhere in the last 7.5 minutes that will sway our judgment. Now they spread things out, a pair of receivers to each side of the field. Williams in the backfield with Foster, who takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Williams. Now Foster running for his life. He's under pressure. 3 Explorers chase him. And now Foster gets away and takes it back to midfield and finally is tackled from behind for a 4-yard loss, but he could have had a 24-yard loss.
2 huge blocks there, and one I'm kind of surprised now that there's not a flag thrown after the play was over. The Ponies number 57, I don't have him down here on the sheet, but he gave the old Atlas man a fist in the air and show my biceps, and that could be considered taunting in some circles.
Well, a couple of those big Explorer defensive linemen, I know Ralph Williams was one of them. They were out there chasing Williams or chasing Foster, and Williams got nailed from the blind side. And now whistles and flags with the snap, and that's going to be another procedure call against the Ponies, and 4th and 10 will become 4th and 15. But Foster was running for his life.
Yeah, he did a good job of maintaining that open field running, and I'm going to go back to the old days and say Fran Tarkington, as you said earlier, because he was just very elusive, and you had to feel sorry for the Explorers. I mean, those are some big boys back there. There's no way they can be agile enough to change directions, but they were in hot pursuit, and then once he got around, they turned and tried to pursue him again, and that's when they got hit from the blind side.
Well, it ended up being a 4-yard loss, but it could have been a whole lot worse for the Ponies, who now use a timeout facing 4th and 15. It comes with 6:21 remaining here in the 4th quarter. It's Marquette 17, South Fork 6. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts?
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to State Farm agent Tom Lane to help you plan for your future today.
Well, we're having a lot of fun at the football game tonight. Saturday night football in Alton. That means Marquette Explorer football, and a nice crowd on hand here at Public School Stadium. They see the Explorers leading 17-6 with 6:21 remaining, and it's 4th and 15 South Fork from their own 48-yard line, and they spread it out again. The snap to Foster, he swings it out, and Williams makes the reception. He's going to get a first down and then some, all the way down inside the Marquette 30 down to the 29-yard line, and that was almost a pick 6.
McAfee had eyes on it, and he decided he would go for the pick. When he didn't get it, Williams makes the reception, and they get a first down out of it. So it looked like it could have been 6 points the other way, and then when Williams caught it, you always have to worry, is it going to be 6 the other? Instead, it'll be a 1st and 10. Pony's going to maintain possession. We're almost halfway through quarter number 4.
A 23-yard pickup on that pass play from Foster to Williams. And the 15th first down of the night for the Ponies. Now here is Dawson Williams right up the middle, takes it inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. And it'll be 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard pickup.
Youngblood coming into the lineup for the defense as he will replace Straszewski, easy for you to say, trying to keep some fresh legs, fresh bodies in there up front.
Williams, 20 carries for 110 yards, and he's caught 2 passes for 44 yards. He's the bulk of their offense. Now Foster back to throw, lets it go down the middle and broken up. A nice defensive play there. Now a flag is thrown after the play, but it was James Jernigan who broke up the pass over the middle, And did he celebrate too much, or was there something else going on?
I don't know, but once again, the receiver had his feet go out from under him as they're trying to make a stop. Then they're having some problems with their footing. It looks like they're talking to the Explorers captain.
They're talking to Trey Aguirre, the Marquette captain, and this is going to be an ineligible man downfield. So that lobbying and that's going to be a walk-off and then a loss of down, if I know the rules right. A 5-yard walk-off, and it should be loss of down. And so it should become third down. Well, it wasn't a loss of down.
Okay.
So I don't know the rules. Third down, or second down. Back to throw. Foster, again under pressure, steps up, and he has nailed. The first one to hit him is Jeremy Strabel. Then a host of Explorers come in, including Zach Forte.
Yes.
And a loss of about 3 on that play for Foster.
Going to mark the ball down on about the 34. Going to bring up a third and long. We think it's third down.
Third and 13. Third and 13, South Fork. Marquette leads it 17-6. We're down to 5:20 and counting, remaining fourth quarter.
I was just thinking, take all the time you want in the huddle. The clock's running.
On the third down play, whoop, everybody went except the center. He didn't snap the ball.
Okay, now secondary, look and see what happened there. They shot 2 receivers deep on fly patterns on either side.
So the penalties are mounting against the Ponies here. They only had 1 penalty in the first half. They've had 6 here in the second half. So now it's third and let's call it 18 at the Marquette 39-yard line.
I don't think the Ponies were going for a first down there. I think they were looking down each hash mark. Let's get a quick 6.
Well, and if they can find a way to make that happen, they're right back in this ball game. On third and 18, Foster drops to throw. Quick slant out to the left side and very nearly intercepted by James Jernigan. He made a nice play. Come in there and dive in front of the intended receiver. And if the pass hadn't been low, Jernigan would have had an interception. As it is, it's an incomplete pass.
He knew that he wasn't going to get the interception, but there was no way that ball was getting through to the receiver. Reached around and got a hand on it, came up very exuberant. That's what you call aggressive defense and got good results. Need one more.
Jernigan missed the season opener against CM with an injury. Played some last week and has been a little bit more in evidence here tonight as he kind of settles in there as a cornerback. A 5'10", 155-pound senior. Fourth and 18, South Fork at the Marquette 39. Foster back to throw. Under pressure. Rolling to his right. And he is hit and loses the football. It won't matter. It's fourth down. Marquette recovered the fumbled football. And Foster took a heck of a hit, and that's what caused him to cough it up. Marquette recovers it at the 38, and they'll take over right there.
Yeah, he held the ball up like he was going to throw it, and the Explorers didn't buy that fake at all. They came at him toot sweet, and as a result, the defense does their job once again and gets the ball back to the offense. Now, hang on to the ball, run that clock, move that chains, go home a winner.
Well, it's the third turnover of the night for the Ponies, but it really doesn't matter because they were going to lose the football anyway on downs. So now the Marquette offense, with 4:56 remaining, will come out in their tight formation, and they're just going to try to pound the football, I would guess, and try to run some time off the clock. Here is the direct snap to the up man. That's Liam Maher, and he takes it out across the 40 to near the 42-yard line for a gain of about 4.
And, of course, you have to be very certain that you wrap up that ball with both arms because right now the Ponies have to be tackling the ball to see if they can get it back.
Second down and 6 for the Explorers from their own 42. And time a big factor now, a factor in the Explorers' favor. Marquette, which had built a 17-0 lead, saw the Ponies cut it to 17-6. The Ponies couldn't get anything done on that last possession. And now the Explorers are letting as much time tick off between plays as possible.
He's going to watch the official till he starts swinging that arm for the final 5 seconds.
And here's Aguirre keeping himself. Trey Aguirre right up the middle, across midfield, down to the Pony 47-yard line. And a gain of 11 on that carry for Trey Aguirre, and the 11th first down of the night for the Explorers. Aguirre 5 carries for 16 yards.
The more the clock runs down, the more conservative we want to get.
With a win, the Explorers will go to 1-0 and they head to Nokomis next Friday night for another Prairie State Conference game. 1-0 in the conference, 1-2 overall will be the Explorer record with a victory here tonight. So again, Marquette taking time, the maximum amount of time between plays, and as Gary mentioned, that back judge starts to count off the final 5 seconds, and that's when the Explorers set the team. Now, direct snap to Peebles, and he gives ground. You can't do that, Diavion. That's a sophomore move, and he ends up losing about 7 yards on that play.
Well, it was a sophomore move that he gave up the ground, which he shouldn't have done, but he did realize reverse directions don't get to the sideline and get knocked out of bounds. Keep the clock running.
Actually, he lost 8 on that play. 2nd and 18 for the Explorers, and now the Ponies will take a timeout. So next week we've got more Explorer football from you. Will come your way from Nokomis. It'll be game 2 of our broadcast doubleheader, as we do every Friday night. And let's just tell you a little bit about that. On Friday night of next week, Game 1 live from Jerseyville, the Civic Memorial Eagles and the Jerseyville Panthers, and that's a long-standing rivalry, a big Mississippi Valley Conference game.
I got to tell you something about that years ago, something I had never noticed until I was broadcasting. Civic Memorial goes to Jerseyville. In the pregame warm-up, I noticed one of the Eagles takes his helmet out in the middle of the field and sprinkles grass. And what he had done, he had taken some of his grass from the home turf, took it up to Jerseyville because that makes this our field.
Well, whatever it takes.
Yep.
Whatever it takes.
Psychological warfare.
2nd down and 18 for Marquette from their own 44-yard line following the Pony timeout. 3:05 remaining in the fourth quarter. And now I thought a Pony jumped into the neutral zone. And here is Trey Aguirre on the carry, sweeping to the right side, and he's finally, did they bump him out of bounds or did he stay in? They did get him out of bounds. And Aguirre took it out to the 49-yard line, a gain of 5, but wasn't able to stay in bounds.
That's one of the things where you don't want to be running that wide and then not get down and keep the clock running.
So it's going to be 3rd and 14 for the Explorers from their own 49-yard line. The clock is stopped with 2:57 remaining. Marquette leads it 17-6. Again, that tight formation. Aguirre in the pistol formation. They put a man in motion to the left side, and Aguirre keeps it himself, turns it upfield. Now a flag is thrown at the spot of the tackle. Aguirre picked up 6 on that carry, but now they stop the clock because of the penalty flag. And
will it be a hold or will it be a face mask?
It's going to be a hold against Marquette. Hold or a chop block. So that'll wipe out the 6-yard gain. The Ponies may decline it just not to give Marquette another down and force Marquette into 4th and 8.
I was going to say they're in a situation now where they don't want to give them an extra opportunity to, they'll decline.
They do decline it, so the 6-yard pickup by Aguirre stands. And it'll be 4th and 8 for the Explorers at the Pony 45-yard line. If Marquette can find a way to convert, they should be able to run the rest of the timeout.
Pooch kick coming.
That could be too.
Nobody back.
Marquette with the 11-point lead. And the snap is to Mayher, who's in the backfield, and he pooch kicks it, and it's going to roll a half yard into the end zone. If it had died one bounce sooner, he'd had it pinned back on the 1-yard line, but as it is, nothing wrong with forcing the Ponies to go 80 yards for a score.
Still a very effective play, and I think that's one thing tonight that we've mentioned on several occasions. The kicking game has been important. The fact that it's been a plus for Marquette and a negative for South Fork.
And actually, if the Explorers had been a little bit more adept at converting that great field position, that this game would be
running clock.
Be a blowout. Yeah, really. Marquette had that many opportunities, and they've just really not found any consistency on offense just yet. Be it because of penalties, because of missed opportunities, because of fumbles. They've had a couple of turnovers. And here is the give to Dawson Williams, and Williams on his horse out across the 35 and bumped out of bounds at the 37-yard line after a gain of 17. And what a game by Dawson Williams. 21 carries for 127 yards, and he's caught 2 passes for 44 yards.
And he has 2 more years of eligibility. Wow.
So 1st and 10 for the Ponies at their own 38-yard line. The clock stopped after the out-of-bounds play with 2:35 remaining. And it's an urgent situation for South Fork. Foster pass downfield. That one is intercepted by Brian Nagy. He has played a whale of a game. He intercepts that pass, and that's going to put the icing on the cake for Marquette.
Just stepped right in front, did an outstanding job. And I think he knew that he had a safety behind him because he knew that Aguirre was playing safety behind him, so he could make the gamble and know that he could still get away with it. But an outstanding INT should put a WIN in the Explorers column.
Well, Nagy has been a force on defense for the Explorers, breaking up passes, got that big sack earlier when South Fork was deep in Marquette territory.
Had a huge block on that one run also.
Yes, he did. So we'll put him in the running for our Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game. Down to 2:28 remaining in the fourth quarter. Marquette starts 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. They go with the spread formation now. And Aguirre in the pistol formation takes a snap quick out to the left side to Brady McAfee. McAfee down the left sideline, cuts it back inside across midfield and down to the 47 of the Ponies, and a gain of 9 on that completion from Trey Aguirre to Brady McAfee.
McAfee does a good job of dancing down the sideline, but staying inbounds, keeping that clock running, and we're down now inside the 2-minute mark we head.
Well, you might say, what's Marquette doing throwing the football in this situation? But that was almost like a running play. They just wanted to get it out there with some blockers out in front. So again, Aguirre in the pistol formation with McAfee to his left. This time he'll probably hand it to McAfee. He does. Brady McAfee fights for a first down.
Oh, no.
He loses the football, and the Ponies come up with it. It is Marquette's 4th turnover of the night, their 3rd fumble lost, their 3rd turnover of the second half. And the turnovers and silly plays like that are what's really costing Marquette from having this game well in hand. They're not really in any jeopardy of losing it here, but you've got ball security has to be number 1 at this point.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, we just mentioned earlier that when you go into the line now, you have to have that ball covered up with both arms. And it wasn't so much that they were going for the ball that time. It was just jarred loose on the tackle.
1st and 10 Ponies from their own 47-yard line. Seth Foster back to throw, under pressure, lets it go deep down. Oh, he had Dawson Williams open at the Marquette 30 and overthrew him by half a stride. Otherwise, he walks into the end zone for a touchdown. And somebody's got to be playing center field.
Well, Xavier Jones that time had him as he came out of the backfield, but I think that he was under the impression that there would be a safety back there behind him to give him help.
There wasn't.
No.
There was nobody back there.
No safety net.
And you can probably credit that Marquette defensive line for getting the pressure on Foster from thereby preventing that from being a touchdown pass.
So I'm going to have to nominate them as one of our candidates as well.
There we go. We've got a lot of candidates.
Republicans, I guess.
Back to throw, Foster under pressure, trying to elude those oncoming rushers. Now he lets it go deep downfield, and that, I don't think that was caught, but I think the officials discuss it, and they're going to call it a catch down at the Marquette 34. now we've got a penalty flag back here, so that's going to wipe it out.
Well, the good thing about that is he had to go to the ground to make the catch, because had he caught that in stride, he would have been going in for 6 points.
That was Luke Crane, number 24, and I don't think he caught it. I think he short-hopped it, but it doesn't matter what we think. That neither official saw it. Neither one knew. They both looked at each other, and finally they just kind of said, well, okay, he caught it. But then they realized that there was a penalty flag that was going to bail them out if they were wrong. And the flag, this is going to be a huge penalty. The flag is lying all the way back at the South Fork 33-yard line. So it'll be a 32-yard line. It'll be a 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the foul. And so they'll take it all the way back and put it down at about the 22. It'd be like a 27-yard penalty.
Earlier in the game, won't mention any names, but one of the players picked up a flag to hand it to the official, being very sportsmanlike, you know. And I thought at the time, do you understand, young man, that being in a certain spot is important, because that's where they're going to assess a penalty from.
They put it down at the 23. The line of scrimmage had been the 47. So it's like a 24-yard penalty. Well, that was another case where Foster was back there running for his life, and that Marquette defensive line, they're all going to sleep well tonight because they've gotten their exercise. They've done a lot of running.
Oh, they should not have to run laps next practice. They've gotten plenty in.
Well, I think the coaches would say, hey, that's why we have you run laps, to get you ready, get your game ready.
And it has definitely paid off tonight. They have been doing an outstanding job of keeping that pressure on, but you got to credit Foster. I'll tell you what, he is very elusive back there, and it seems like not only does he run for his life, but he keeps his cool and keeps looking downfield for receivers as he does so.
Here's another one of those officials meetings. They all got together and probably have missed their dinner reservation, and they're talking about
late night at Taco Bell or what.
Now Marquette wants a timeout. I'm not sure why, with 1:15 remaining and South Fork facing first and forever, but they take a timeout, so will we. 1:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Marquette 17, South Fork 6. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Deep down the left side, incomplete. And I'll tell you what, Seth Foster can throw the football, especially when he can set himself.
And he's not rolling out left.
He threw that one far. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Let's see, 10,
45
20,
yards, 50.
30. It's like it's going to be second, and I think it's like 33.
He's in a different zip code right now.
Isn't that what they need? 33 yards, 10. 20, 33 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And he threw that one about 35. Second down and 33 for the Ponies. Marquette leads it 17-6. 1:09 left to play. Foster, quick pass out to the left side, incomplete. And it's going to be 3rd and 33. And Seth Foster, his stats won't look too great. 4 for 16 for 91 yards and 2 interceptions. But he's been running for his life half the night as well.
Well, he came out in the second half and hit, 2 or 3 out of his first 4 or 5, and now in desperation the number's going down.
So 3rd down and 33, and now Foster will go under center. They go double tight with a wing to the right. They fake the handoff to Williams, and they run a wheel play out there with Williams. And, he makes a tremendous catch. I think it's dual possession, and so it's going to go to the offensive guy. Dawson, no, they say, I think there was some disagreement among the officials, but they give it to Dawson Williams for a pickup of about 24 yards on that completion.
Nagy, I think, was lobbying for half an interception on that, because he got into it, but as you said, the offensive player maintain possession, and when they go down together, tie goes to the offense.
So now it's 4th and 9 for the Ponies. Foster deep down the middle, incomplete. And the Explorer offense will go out and take a knee, and that'll be it. So Marquette will have its first victory. They'll start 1-0 in the Prairie State Conference and join Bunker Hill and Pawnee at the top of the conference. And Marquette, a big game next week. It'll go a long way. When we get to the end of the conference season, the winner of next week's game between Marquette and Nokomis might have something to do with who's the conference champion.
Yeah, Nokomis, according to the numbers, at least in the first few weeks, not quite the team that perhaps they've been the last few years, but no matter what kind of team they have, when you journey up there to Montgomery County, you better be ready.
Well, Marquette went up there a couple years ago, and Nokomis thought they had the Explorers whipped, and Marquette pulled a miracle. And I'm sure the Indians or Nokomis will be remembering that. Now, Trey Aguirre takes a knee, and the final 15 seconds will tick off the clock. They won't have to take another snap, and Marquette will have a 17-6 victory. And so the crowd here rises to its feet, the student body down on the track, ready to cheer on their team. 2 seconds, 1 second, and there's the final horn. And Marquette wins it 17-6. Back to wrap it up from Public School Stadium in a moment. You're listening to Big Z Radio Sports.